I never thought I'd be spending $10,000 a month on an apartment, but it is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, ocean view apartment right across from the beach in the best part of Santa Monica with a security guard and a jacuzzi. And I'm going to give you a full tour, explain why I decided to rent versus buy, and at the end of the video, I'm going to share something very personal with you because, to be honest, I had a lot of guilt about the idea of spending so much money renting an apartment. But my belief is that renting this apartment is going to end up doubling my income more than paying for the cost of the apartment. But I'll talk about why that is at the end of the video. So make sure to smash the like button because I need all the likes I can get so I can afford to pay for this apartment. Just kidding. But seriously, make that like button blue for the algorithm. I'll get to my favorite part of the tour, which is the living room with the amazing ocean view in just a minute. But let's start from the bottom downstairs in the garage. And this apartment includes a 2-car private garage. Now, most apartments in Santa Monica do not include any parking, yet alone a private garage. Now, Ariana and I actually share a car, so we really don't need a 2-car garage, but it's good for when guests come over. Even though there's plenty of guest parking, it's nice to have the extra space just in case the guest parking is filled. But also over there, we might end up putting a surfboard because, as I mentioned, the ocean is right across the street. There's also, literally next door to us, basketball courts, tennis courts, and they play flag football on the beach right here. But sadly, I can't do any of that right now because I recently sprained my ankle, and this is going to be really important. I'm going to talk about why spraining my ankle was actually a really important part of this entire journey later in this video. But this is a pretty standard garage. From here, we can come inside, and we do have a separate door right there. Those are my crutches that I've been using for the last couple days. And we come up the first flight of stairs, and there's actually, 3-4 levels to this, and they're all small levels. I mean, there's one of the bedrooms, but here is the first bedroom. And this is where I'm going to make my YouTube studio. Everything is a mess right now. We really just moved in a couple days ago. And so you can see here, I'm going to have a desk. I'm going to have the background. And for those that are new to my channel, these are a lot of the students that I've taught how to sell on Amazon. These are their products. And these are some different really crazy success stories. This guy right here is doing, I think, around $50,000 a month. He's making more money with his Amazon business than he is at his job. He's actually a pilot and firefighter/pilot. Really cool story. Bunch of other success stories. This guy right here, he's doing like $100,000 a month. A bunch of other people, they're making, $5,000 to $10,000 profit. Over here are some of my products. This is Performance and Uploader, my first real passion product. The YouTube plaque, of course, but I'll show you guys more about what this is going to look like later. And then outside, we have a nice little space. I'm going to probably throw a hammock over here so I can do some reading, maybe throw some plants out there. Not really sure yet what we're going to do with this space, but feel free to leave in the comments down below any ideas you have. Now, one of the things about this apartment is it did come furnished, which is really nice. And it includes both a huge washer and dryer in here. And then this is the first bathroom, which, to be honest, I don't know how often we'll actually use, but it does have a bathtub, which is cool. And I guess while I'm working, I can come over here and go to the bathroom whenever I need to. That's just a utility closet. And then we come up to the bedroom that Ariana and I will actually be sleeping in. And this is really nice. So this is a California king bed. We need to get some new sheets and everything. We had these in storage, and these are for a queen bed. And, in our old apartment, we had a queen. So we weren't cool enough yet to have the king bed. We have lots of light, right outside, you can see the palm trees. And you got a mirror right here. And I actually used this area yesterday to work out with my gimp leg. It was hard to figure out things that I could do. And so we got a fireplace here, which is amazing. A TV, and this dresser and everything, all the artwork, everything came with the apartment. Not everything's exactly our style, but it's nice to not have to move into a place and furnish everything. So this is another one of my favorite features right here. This is a shower with a skylight, which is just amazing. It's so nice to be able to take a shower, and it's cool. You got the glass windows so you can see out here. Lots of little small features too, because when you open this up, it's actually lighted, and then there's a mirror behind it. Here's another crazy feature, something I never thought I'd have in an apartment. It is a little one-person sauna right here. We can go inside, It's actually not working right now. We need to get it fixed, but that was part of the move-in conditions that they would fix it. So not a ton of space, but enough space for someone to sit down. And in here we have a bathroom. And as I mentioned, we're still in the mix of, trying to figure out when we're moving in. You can see I hung my shorts there because I need to find a new place to hang them. We have a walk-in closet. So Ariana has a lot more shoes than I do. I've got like a pair of running and then a nice pair down here. It's got purses and all kinds of stuff. And then these are my clothes, and those are all her clothes over here. So I need to get more clothes. I think I still have some stuff in storage, but that's why you probably see me wear similar shirts over and over again, especially in my YouTube videos. I don't have too many shirts that work well in YouTube videos, so I tend to repeat them. Now we come up to the next level, and you can see up here all our packing stuff. We put all our stuff in boxes. When we moved out of our last apartment last year in February, Ariana went around and just found a bunch of boxes from like Trader Joe's and stuff. And actually we even used some of the Performance Nut Butter boxes to store our stuff. And so as I've mentioned, this place came furnished, but it's kind of funny because this is actually like patio furniture that they used as the kitchen table. But hey, it works for now. And this is a nice solid piece that we have with lots of room for throwing some wines down there. And I believe that the owner actually painted a lot of the paintings that are here, which is pretty cool. It's like a nice, unique touch. Over here is the kitchen, and this is Ariana's favorite part of the entire apartment. There's so much light in here. I mean, I don't have any of the lights on. You have the skylights, which it looks bright enough to be a real light, but it's just a skylight here. Same thing in here. I don't have any of the lights on, but it's still really bright. And you have this beautiful view that you can look at while cooking. And one of the selling points of this place, which I don't really care about, but I guess is a big deal, is they made a big deal about Wolf appliances and Sub-Zero appliances. And this was another thing that Ariana was talking about, because now you open this up and you can see easily into the fridge, where usually, I guess most fridges, they have the freezer on top, and it makes you have to like crouch down to be able to find things. And you got the freezer down here. This is going to be Ariana's coffee bar. I don't really drink a lot of coffee, but she does. Coffee, I already have too much energy as it is oftentimes, and coffee just throws me into like almost anxiety and like overthinking mode. So this is a nice little wet bar. We're big game players, so we're going to be putting all our games in here. Catan is one of our favorite ones that we've had some mixed experiences playing with our family. We love playing, but we've definitely got into some arguments and fights, but we've worked on it. We're better at that now. So in here is just another little bathroom. And now to what is one of my favorite parts, and that is the living room. Before I share that, I want to be clear that living in this apartment is a little extra. It's more than Ariana and I need. But my plan is to treat this as an experiment and see if spending this money on my dream apartment ends up leading to more productivity, higher income, and ultimately more happiness. Because my belief is I'll easily make back the extra money I'm spending on this apartment in income. But this is an experiment, and I don't know that for sure. So before I show you my favorite part of this house tour, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because over the coming months and the next year, I'll be sharing, what does living in my dream apartment do? Does it actually help me to increase my productivity? Does it actually lead to me making more money? Or is it a waste of money like so many people seem to think that rent is? It is so bright in here. It's so beautiful. Like, this is the thing that sold me. And as you're walking up, you can actually even see the sand. It's literally, the beach is right on the other side of these houses, these apartments that are in front of us. Before I get to that though, another really cool aspect is this little bonus room. It's a little study, and I don't have all my books just yet. I do have Tribe of Mentors and Opportunity. One of my favorite books, obviously if you've watched this channel a lot, is The 4-Hour Workweek. I will be coming, which is by Tim Ferriss, same as Tribe of Mentors. I will be coming out with a video about that pretty soon, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. And that's actually something I'm thinking about doing, is doing more reviews and synopsis of books. If that's something you want, leave a comment down below if you think that's cool. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video as well. And so I usually have 3 monitors. I have one of the monitors downstairs right now, but I have a computer down there, and this is one of my favorite chairs for working in. So I'm going to have 3 chairs and then be able to look out at the beach from this little window as I'm working, a nice naturally lit environment. I'm even thinking about, if we needed to, we could throw down a air mattress here for when we have guests, or I'm thinking about using this as another filming space, and I'd have to angle it like that maybe or something, and I could have a whiteboard here and do some talking. Still trying to figure all that out. So up here we have another fireplace, and I've actually been using this a decent amount. We have a TV that came with an Apple TV, which is really cool. And then we have the couch, another painting I believe that was done by the owner. And so this is actually where I was filming my videos here. And it's really cool because anytime you see me up here filming videos and you see this in the background, well, that means that I'm able to look out at the ocean, able to look out at the trees. And there's something really nice, something really calming about that. I told you I was going to tell you about my sprained ankle as well as why I decided to rent versus buy, because a lot of people will tell you you should always buy property versus renting. Renting is just throwing away money, but that's not always true, especially if you're looking to buy and live in a place for less than 5 to 10 years. And I grew up in my family, we had a mentality that rich people were bad, that they were wasteful, that they just wasted their money on silly things. And as I've made more money, I struggle with this idea because I find myself buying things and spending money on things that I never would have thought of before. For instance, I've spent money on expensive dinners, I've spent money on private tennis lessons and private surfing lessons, and now I'm committing the biggest sin, which is spending money on rent when you should be buying a house. But let's break it down here. Last year I made around $1 million, which is a lot of money. I'm extremely grateful that I was able to make so much money. But that's about 10 times more than I made when I was at my corporate job, which means percentage-wise, this apartment that I'm renting for $10,000 would be the same as if I was renting a $1,000 apartment back when I was making closer to $100,000 a year. And what I've realized in this last year is my brain is still programmed as if I'm making less than 6 figures a year, but I'm making closer to 7 figures. And as you make more money, there's a shift that happens where you start to realize that all the money you're spending, even if you're just spending it on things that you enjoy, it's really an investment at the end of the day. Because when you spend money on an activity that you enjoy, well, what happens? You get more dopamine, you get more energy, you enjoy life more, and that makes it so that you have more creativity, so that you're going to want to work harder, and then you're going to get more things done. Because the truth is, right now, if I wanted to, I could pretty much retire, live off my passive income and my savings for the rest of my life. But I don't want to do that. And by renting this apartment, by having a dedicated YouTube studio, by living in a location that is surrounded by a lot of successful entrepreneurs and anybody that can live in this area, they're doing something cool. They're doing something interesting with their life. I'm stacking the deck in my favor. I'm lining up all the dominoes to make it inevitable that I'm going to have more success, that I'm going to be more productive. And it's scary because my brain is still wired back in that scarcity mode that I had when I had a corporate job. Because when you have a corporate job, you really can't increase your income that much. But when you're an entrepreneur, when you work for yourself, you can double your income every single year. And I've done that. When I first quit my corporate job, I was making $5,000 a year in my first year as an entrepreneur. The next year was $10,000, $20,000, $40,000. By my 5th year, it was back to like $80,000, and then $160,000, $320,000, $640,000, and last year around $1 million. And I think I have the potential to double my income again. And it's not just about making more money for me. It's about contributing and doing something cool and interesting with my life and helping other people to have financial freedom. But there's this idea I recently learned about from the book, The Big Leap, and it's called upper limit beliefs. A lot of us, including myself, have this idea that we can only make so much money, that we can only do so much, that we can only accomplish so much in the world. And when we hit that and surpass it, a lot of times we self-sabotage. And I caught myself doing that even to some degree last year. As much as I was enjoying traveling, I was using travel as an excuse to avoid work and avoid growing as a person. And that's why I decided to sign a lease for this apartment, which will guarantee that I'm not going to be off traveling for months at end. It's going to guarantee that I'm actually going to stay put, stay steady, and stay focused on what I think is important. And I do think if you have a goal, something that you really want to accomplish, you're going to want to stack the entire deck in your favor. That's going to guarantee that you're going to get success. Now, as I mentioned, I still have all that old programming that's saying, what are you doing spending so much money on this apartment? Which led to a lot of guilt in me questioning myself. And I was playing basketball right after I had signed the lease for this apartment, and I sprained my ankle really bad. It's the worst I've ever hurt my ankle. And I looked up online, what does that mean? What does a sprained ankle mean from a holistic perspective? Just because I'm always interested to get other points of view. And interestingly enough, it said online, inflexibility in guilt. The ankle represents the ability to receive pleasure. And I realized this whole time I've been trying to justify to the world that this apartment makes sense financially, that it's going to lead to me having more success. But I forgot the main reason. I wanted to make money in the first place, that I wanted to have financial success in the first place. And that's to enjoy life, to actually have pleasure. And I do think living in this apartment is going to force me to get more high quality work done, to have more satisfaction about what I'm accomplishing in the world. And most importantly, I just want to do it because it's cool. It's cool to be able to live across the street from the beach. It's something that's fun for me. And maybe it doesn't really matter if other people think it's wasteful because it's something that I enjoy. And I've worked hard to make a lot of money, to have a lot of success. And maybe it's even okay if it's a little bit wasteful. But that's the point of having financial success, is to be able to do things that other people think is wasteful, but you know it's something that makes you happy. And I know when I'm 90 years old, thinking back at this time, I'm not going to regret that I spent too much money on rent. I'm going to look back and be like, wow, that was an amazing time. And if you want to know how I make over $85,000 per month passive income, I got a completely free YouTube video right here. This is one of the best YouTube videos I've ever made. It breaks down all my different passive income revenue streams, how I'm able to make $85,000 a month. And my hope is by next year, that number will be double. It'll be over $160,000, $170,000 per month. And this will be a fun little experiment. So click on that video. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.